Good morning. My name is Tamar, and she's Raisa. We are presenting Angra House, an interior renovation by Studio Artur Casas. The house is located in Angra del Reis, between Rio and São Paulo, about 2 hours drive from Rio. Its face, Ilha Grande, a protected island covered by Atlantic forest. Although it's accessible by road, life here often happens by boat. The community also offers helicopter access since it's a short ride from Rio or São Paulo. The house has its own dock for daily arrivals. This region is known for calm green waters, preserved forests, and a mix of sea and mountains. In this project, nature takes the lead, framed and enhanced by architecture. Water becomes part of the design, extending the horizon and bringing sunset light in. Natural materials blur the limits between inside and outside, merging the house with the surroundings. Guided by sustainability, we use local materials passive solution design to deal with a tropical climate. The 700 square meter renovation focused on interior and facade redesign. The original house from the 80s no longer met the client needs. He wanted a home open to nature where family and friends could gather. Culturally, it was essential to create a home that embraced the forest and breeze and the sea. A key idea is the open privacy, creating outdoor connections with intimacy through layers and filters. These concepts shape the facade, adding openings and balconies. Since this is a renovation, we needed to respect the original overall volume of the house. Because of the slope, the entrance is on top level. We opened walls and windows to connect the space directly to the sea. On the ground floor, partitions were removed for full integration. The pool was repositioned to align with the horizon, extending the ocean view. We also added a basement with a professional cinema as a personal request from the client. The ground floor is the heart of the project. Open social areas linked to the outdoors. At the center, a chef's kitchen connects indoor and outdoor dining. Guest rooms are in one side and the wellness in the other. The upper floor holds the main living and dining areas, staff areas on the back, and above the guest wing, the family zone with 2 kids' rooms and the master suite.
Let's start the walking tour. At the rooftop entrance, a screen filters light and frames the ocean. The stairs lead upward, creating a vertical moment that opens to the sky. A skylight fills the space with daylight, and at night, the moon takes over. The sculptural staircase in solid hardwood stands as an artwork, expressing the studio's craft. Nearby, a Brazilian piece reinforces the home's cultural roots. We reach the living room, where architecture opened to the sea. Earthy tones echo local stone and sand, and the sloped ceiling guides you to the outdoor. In Brazil, we appreciate open, naturally ventilated homes. We designed the roof and ceiling system to reduce heat and improve comfort. The layered roof, ceramic tiles, an air gap, and a straw ceiling insulates and ventilates, letting hot air escape naturally. In the family hallway, a concrete pergola filters the light, and a small garden rises from the floor. Continuity of textures and tones created calmnesses. The bedroom includes a desk and a private deck. A single glass panel keeps the ocean fully visible. The side door opens outside, and the TV hides in the ceiling. The wood screen filters light and guarantees privacy. To keep the view open from bed, desk, and terrace, we slightly lower the balcony floor. The master suite combines custom pieces, rustic furniture, and well-known brands. Passing throughout the closet, a skylight brings natural light and orientation. The master shower is a highlight. A stone wall grounds the space, while the skylight and window make you feel suspended above the sea. The screen ensures privacy from passing boats. On our way back, the bench becomes an elegant guardrail. Reflecting the site, water in one side and forest on the other, a center garden brings its duality indoors. Pocket door allows cross ventilation. We mixed Brazilian furniture, vintage pieces, and selected Italian brands. To celebrate Brazilian culture, we choose traditional artworks that adds identity and warmth. The dining area sits on a split level. The straw ceiling and continuous floor links to the upper spaces. We highlight Brazilian stones, also used in furniture details.
Continuous flooring and wide openings connect interior and exterior. Large beams allow open spans and flexible layouts. All finishes blend with the surroundings. Straw ceiling, rough stones, a cool ceramics floors ideal for tropical weather. Dining furniture mix Brazilian classic and studio pieces. On the lower floor, the same materials continues. The double ceiling high areas reinforcing continuity. As we descend, we reach a small living area. Metal structure mark the new interventions, while wooden ceiling add warmth. The ceramic floors extend to the terrace and pool, creating an infinity effect. Outdoor furniture in green tones merge with the garden. Here we see part of the outdoor furniture selection. The stone walls give a solid feel and a thermal protection, contrasting with the light metal structure. A slight level change forms a shallow lounge inside of the pool. The chef's kitchen has a central island for cooking with a veil, a 3-meter cantilever wood table, and a wall displaying Brazilian ceramics. Every piece follows the same design language. In the guest wing, a double-high garden keeps natural stone and adds depth. This garden also helps with ventilation. Warm air rises and escapes through the skylight opening, creating a chimney effect. The guest bedroom opens to the landscape. The pool is surrounded by landscape, giving the infinity border a different experience. By choosing the right finish, the pool recalls the sea. In the bedroom, vintage pieces mix with studio designs like the lamp and the headboard. Along the corridor, natural stone merge with the interior and tropical greenery. The interiors act as a calm canvas, letting natural light reflect and flow.
We designed folding musharabia panels that project light and shadow while freeing the balconies behind them. Inspired by Arabic architecture, the screen filters light, offering shade and privacy. Since 1930, Brazilian modernists like Lúcio Costa and Oscar Niemeyer reinterpreted this idea. Our team studies local climate to design facades that balance comfort and efficiency. Wide balconies and screen filters heat and rain while keeping openness and privacy. These studies define open sizes, panel depth, and the orientation. Local stone, certified wood, and ceramic connect the house into natural terrain. The same finish continues on walls and ceilings, forming a portico that frames the exterior. Our neutral palette creates a calm atmosphere and highlights the custom-made headboard. Closet doors in fabric allows airflow. As we move throughout the house, we return to the main living area. The same materials run throughout, creating unity and flow. Floating steps link the levels, centered by a wine cellar. The handrail is embedded in the wall. Brazilian stone appear in all wet areas, expressing local identity. The sauna features Via Appia quartzite, showing the richnesses of the Brazilian geology. The massage bed was custom designed by our studio. This lower level opens to a private terrace surrounded by vegetation. The project is about harmony, natural materials that blend with the site and invite connection. Architecture guides the gaze to the horizon throughout soft tones and fluid spaces. It creates moments to truly experience everything that the site can offer. Angra House celebrates the meeting of architecture, nature, and Brazilian identity, where craftsmanship and environmental care shape a comfortable, authentic, and truly local home. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess it's a very beautiful project. And I think you guys made the right decision to keep the old house and just refurbish or take some parts away. And then so I guess there's this idea of sustainability. I think it's great here. I always want to design. I always like to design houses that open up to the nature, and clients like to see that. But then after they move in, they always close up everything. So I want to know about this island. Does the client really open that, or are there insect screens, or is there any other way to control it? And then the second thing is, I'm sure the construction process must be very difficult on the island. Could you also share with us a little bit about this?
Sure. Yeah, I think it's more like a culture thing. Usually in Brazil, we like to have the breeze like touching the skin. It's something that we like to have everything open. So people do let everything open. Sometimes in summer, it's too hot. So they might close at night for sleeping, like this kind of situation. But on day use, it's something that we are used to let everything open and all this indoor and outdoor connected on day by day. So it's more like a culture thing. And the weather, it's a lot of breeze. So actually the warm is not like a stuck kind of like weather. So you have the breeze, it's a little bit better to stay everything open.
But for reaching the idea of not having AC on the house, we needed to have a lot of sustainability solution to let the airflow go out of the house. So, because we do like, as Raisa said, to have the openness and not using air conditioning during the day because we like to have the barbecue and go inside and outside. But if we didn't have the solution.
Does the client use it like that though?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
You're not the client.
No,
Okay.
unfortunately, no.
I would love
we are
to.
the architect only. We give them the dream. They live the dream. No, unfortunately, no. Regarding the kind of like to reach the site for the construction was a very hard situation actually, because it's reached by a street, but it's very narrow, so the logistic is very hard. Even for visiting the construction site, most of the time the client just put us on the helicopter because it was easier to get in and faster. Everything was, it's very difficult site, but it happens.
Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation. And indeed, yeah, one wants to move to this house. But a couple comments. Again, I think there are some elements you presented at the end that maybe you should have kind of started with, in the sense that it would have been interesting to understand moving from the outside to the inside, and maybe understand a bit more of what is it you kept of the original house, and why did you? I know there were the plans.
Oh, okay.
There were the plans.
Okay.
There were the plans, but it's only then you go into the furniture, you go into the linens, your bed sheets, and the choice of furniture. Whereas it's only towards the end that you tell us about the stone, the ceiling weaving, and I think it might have been interesting to walk us a bit more from the outdoor to the inside, and also from what you kept also, and what was the brief for you to transform that house? What is it why did you choose to redo the roof? How did you manage with the new basement? And so that we understand what you actually, what's the retrofit of the existing element that you had to deal with, where the stone's already there, et cetera, et cetera. I think it would have been interesting to understand a bit more about the philosophy of what did you conserve and what did you modify.
Sure.
And maybe the question is you talked about sustainability. Do you have I mean, I understand there is all the air circulation that seems to be very important. You talked about the breeze, and yet in the master room, you have one single glass that I guess does not open. Correct? So it's the only room that does not open to the outdoor.
The side, yeah.
It's open from the sides. So
Okay, but the
both
facade
sides
is
has an opening.
Yeah.
okay. But no, that's about my question. It's really to understand. But if you could elaborate a bit about what did you keep, what did you change, what did you modify, and what did you work on? How was the house when you arrived? We just have the plan and one photo.
Okay. Thank you.
It's fair answer.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
for
what
an
I-
answer. Yeah. I'd like to know.
So we basically work with the volume that we have before. So what we did is it was as a strategic, since it's really complicated to go there and like rebuild and take it out all of the dirt after going on. So what we did is basically reinforcing the structure to let us open windows to the outdoors. And then we have this, before we have this weird volume, we have these main volumes of rocks in the two-sided, and in the middle we have these metal bins that before didn't have a two-floor, it was just one floor double ceiling. So what we made is we just created another floor by using the metal bins in the middle of it. So we basically reinforces the structure to make it happen, the allowance. And then talking about the basement, there was a point of the terrain that was easy to cave because we could have easy access to it. So it's located just in this point, and it's a small cinema room under there.
I think it would have, I mean, for the sake of the understanding of your process, and also so that the interior design does not appear as being some kind of veneer or some kind of a gratuitous choice of aesthetic, but rather driven by the analysis and the transformation of the building, the existing building. For example, the stones, were they there? The corridor, the big corridor, are those stones the big ones on the
The
Yeah,
big
yeah.
ones were
yeah, they were there.
existing.
Yeah.
So they belong to the
Yes.
topography. These are elements you I think you would gain sharing with us so that it
Highlight.
flows. You know, the story kind of and the journey flows much more naturally.
Yeah.
And we embrace the interior design as the consequence almost of the holistic vision and interpretation of the site.
Yeah,
Thank you.
the
Thank you.
existing
Thank
stone
you.
was there. That's where all the finishes were actually based from, because of this stone that was inside the house, and even the facade was the same stone that we had it. It's from a local supplier. The wood also, everything was closed. So it's more thinking like this.
But thank you for the tips.
Thank you for the tip.
Maybe next year we can improve it.
I just have a really simple question. Did you define any difference between the public and the private spaces on the interior? Because everything seems quite similar. I wondered if did you treat the private spaces differently? I saw on one of the ceilings you had like a woven finish, and on others a solid timber. But did you try to make a difference between, or is there a difference between the two spaces?
Yeah, usually the indoor areas, like the private areas, we treat it a little bit different because our concept is always an integrated project. So you see everything, the same material is used all over. So we have the same stone, the same wood. All of them are using different in terms of texture and finishes, but they are all the same. So it's kind of like a design intention that we do. For private spaces, we kept a little more like a softened kind of finish. So on the walls were more textures as the ceiling. And the rough stones was more on the social spaces. So we tried to play a little bit more with soft, warm finishes on the bedrooms to be more calm, to not being something very rustic on the room. Mm-hmm. And on the ceiling, we have used the straw ceiling on the social area as intention to make a little bit different than have on the indoor. But it's the same flow, like happens in the entire house.
Basically, we remove a little bit the earthy tones to get a calm environment in your bedroom.
Very
Indoor.
nice. The timber beam that you have, is that a local timber that you use? It's a really deep beam?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
local.
What
It's a
timber,
beam. No,
what
it's a
timber
metal
is it?
beam.
No, the timber
Oh,
on
the timber.
no, the timber on the social areas is the it's wood timber.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's wood.
Uh,
Akoya.
it's not akoya. It's kind of akoya, but it's
Okay,
Brazilian one.
thanks.
But it's we have a lot of right now. We have a lot of new wooden timber in Brazil. We had a problem before. We couldn't really work a lot with wooden timber because we have some plagues
Yeah.
that since we don't have winter, they don't die in the winter, so we have plagues. And right now, they create new technological treatments that allow us to use timbers like this. So it's local wood, but it's with these new
Been treated.
treatments.
Thank you.
I haven't understood how it sits against the hillside of this island. Do you arrive through the jungle?
It's a road.
There's a road.
It's a
and-
road. It's a condominium. It's a closed
But
condominium.
you're coming from a kind of heavily planted or kind of natural environment full of trees and kind of
Yes, the forest is on the
sounds
back.
of birds and all of that.
So we have the island in front of us. The island that we have just in front of the house is fully preserved. You cannot build anymore anything there. But we are in the mainland, and in the mainland it's preserved. So right now you cannot buy new plots. It is what it is. So we have the hills behind it with the
The forest.
forest, but we do have some road access, tiny road access, and it's an enclosed
And
community.
then you have to go on a boat at a certain
Yeah,
point.
and
You
we
have
have the
two
boat.
access. You have the road. You have the helicopter that
Helicopter.
arrives on the back in the condominium,
Okay.
and the boat.
So this is clearly a very privileged family who own this house.
Yes,
Are they super rich or middle rich?
super rich.
Super rich.
yeah.
So,
They have an apartment
Where-
in Rio. Rio is like the more crowded city. It's a beachfront also. They have an apartment in Rio done by us also. So they want to extend
So they're
this
in
design to the
Leblanc or something
the
like
weekend
in-
house. Yeah.
they're in Leblanc.
Yeah.
Or,
They like to have friends, family together. That's the reason they have
well,
this
then
beach
they're-
house.
So they entertain a lot and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they like to have
But,
people around.
You know, I'm slightly with Adrian on the questions about what you found, which you found really inspiring. I mean, sometimes when you half demolish a house, you might discover something which you didn't know was there. There might be a fantastic wall that you thought was going to be thrown down, and you said, "No, stop, keep it. I want
They
it."
stone. the stone itself, the stone that we found.
It's strange to look at the picture. In looking, it's obviously beautiful, but it's a bit kind of samey. There are kind of. It's as though you've gone out of your way to calm it down so much that you didn't allow any kind of eccentricity or oddities in the spaces. And I can't explain it very well, but I can somehow imagine that these people probably could have, if there'd been a huge rock that had been in the middle of, and you know, Niemeyer does that kind of thing. He allows living bits of nature into his houses. I know, because I've been to one of them in the jungle in behind Rio. But it looks almost as though the jungle is very, very far away. I wonder if what I'm talking about chimes with any of your thoughts in design. Were you made to make it feel uniformly comfortable?
Yeah, actually the studio design, we usually work with very natural, neutral tones. It's what people actually aim to have, like a very sophisticated space with a very calm thing. I think it's more regarding the Brazilian architecture. There's a lot of this connection to nature. So it's something that our studio, it has something like that. But it's always the client's briefing also. He want a home for the weekend and for the family to get calm, because Rio is very crowded. That's where he works. So this weekend house, it's more to relax, you know. So that's the
Well,
reason we have.
I don't kind of have any problem with that. It's the expression that I'm talking
Okay.
about.
I think-
Anyway, it's just a comment.
Just to
really.
answer, just to answer.
Yeah, well, I haven't got any questions, but I do. I think it's really clever, sophisticated scheme. I actually rather like the fact that there's a controlled palette, and it has a calmness which that gives. And I think it's also good that you showed you used references. So you've actually demonstrated that you, which we don't often see in interior projects, that you've actually looked at other people's work at the screens and so forth. So I'm really impressed. I think it's a really, really beautiful house.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Did it?
Okay. We're
Good.
done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.